So I built a Telegram bot for conference organizers. It reads and writes the content backend that runs the whole event. Sessions, speakers, talk submissions, schedule, all of it. Just watch here. How many submissions do we have and how many have been scored? So we have 6 submissions in total and 2 of them has been scored. Okay, which one scored above 80 that we haven't accepted yet? So this is a Telegram bot that has read and write access to my content backend, a Sanity Content Lake, the same backend that powers the conference website, the email pipeline, the CFP screening, and I can query it, I can create content, update documents from any chat interface. And this is built on 3 layers: the Sanity Content Agent for knowledge and permissions, Vercel AI SDK for streaming and conversation, and then the Chat SDK for platform routing. Let me walk through each one of those. But first, let's accept all of these talks. Yes. So this is the Sanity Studio for the Pretend Content Ops Conf, and we got sessions, we got speakers, we got submissions and sponsors. We had got sessions and schedule slots, announcements, about like 17 document types in total. And if I need to check something, I can open this studio and navigate to the right document type, filter, find everything that I'm looking for. That works. But if you have ever organized a conference, you know that the last 2 weeks are constant interruptions. You are on the venue, a runabout. Speakers will message you at 11 p.m. A room change affects 3 sessions. There's a lot of moving parts and people. So even though the answers are all in the studio, that means that you have to open the laptop or your phone, logging in, and so on and so on. So my idea was maybe you're probably going to be in the chat anyways, so why can't you just chat with this system? So let's take a little look at the code that drives all of this. So this is layer 1, knowledge and permissions. The content agent is what drives the Telegram experience, and it's a Sanity API that bundles an LLM with access to your content lake. You don't pick the model, you just configure what the agent can see and what it can change. And here you can see the config that we are returning. And here we have the access. So this is a grok filter, just saying what types of documents can this agent touch. And you can see it can touch quite a lot. It has access to sessions, people, tracks, venue, rooms, submissions, conference, info, announcements, and so on. And then we have layer 2, conversations and streaming. And this is where the Vercel AI SDK come in. And here we are importing the stream text that helps us get the content agent's message out to Telegram, right? So when a message arrives, 4 things is happening. First, we are loading the conversation history. So it has that in context and can remember what you have talked about before. And then we call the content agent with a system prompt, which is also hosted in the studio, so you can change it there. You can even ask the agent to change it on system prompt, full as inception mode. And then 3, AI SDK streams the response back as it arrives. There's no buffering or polling, and the user sees all the tokens appear in real time. And then we're also saving the updated conversations back to Sanity, so we can pick that up, that history up, like we saw above here. And here you can see how we are saving the conversations in Sanity, how we are making a new conversation document, and how we are patching that with new messages as they appear. And here we have how we are retrieving that history document with the Sanity agent. So the conversation persistence is just grok queries and mutations you load by a thread ID, and we can cap it to like 20 messages to save tokens and so on. This is something that you can kind of like figure out. And if we go into the studio, you can see here how those conversations are stored. So here we have my chats that I just had. And we can use AI to also classify how well that conversation went, so we can kind of improve the system prompt or the content and so on. And then we have the final layer where we have the platform routing. So Chat SDK is an open source library for building conversational agents. It handles thread state, message routing, and platform adapters. And right now we are using the Telegram adapter. This could be WhatsApp, iMessage, Slack, Discord. You can have multiple at the same time. We are like using the Sanity. We are using Sanity for holding that conversation state, as we just saw. And there's like some other configuration stuff as well that we can use. So let me show you a few more things that this conference agent can do. So let's ask it, what rooms are free at 2 p.m. on day 1? So it turns out that all rooms are free on the first day after 2 p.m. So let's move the AI panel to the content lake room at 2 p.m. on the first day. So now we're trying to essentially reschedule a session in the conference via chat. So now it goes and tries to find a panel scheduled on day 2, and it kind of proposes this change, and I'm fine with that. Yes, go ahead, and then make an announcement that we just moved this panel. And then it drafted an announcement. So now if we go into the studio, we can see if it did the right thing. So if we go into announcements, we can see that it's drafted, it's here, looks great. I'm happy. And then we could go into the schedule, and we should be able to see that the panel is here at 2 p.m. So this is great, exactly what I wanted. The repo is open source. The blog posts walk through every piece in detail, the content agent config, the handler pattern, the two-bot architecture, where the same Telegram app also has an attendee-facing agent using a different AI setup, agent context and Anthropic instead of the content agent. Same chat and SDK scaffolding, but different knowledge layers. And the companion post will cover that side. And if you have got a Sanity project with content in it and you know AI SDK, all of this will look pretty familiar. You can look for the link in the description or in the comments.